Tashlegenla.
Tashtale.
I, on behalf of our school, would like to extend our heartiest welcome to you to our school. We are indeed very glad that you're here with us today. I would like to ask you some questions,
Sure.
and which will in fact help all of us, our students, to get more motivated by you.
Okay.
So Genla, my first question is, could you please give us some insight about your visit to different branches of TCV school? Or you can say, what is your sole purpose to visit?
Okay, purpose. See, like basically what happens whenever you've been appointed to a new post, and especially when you don't know anything about how that the responsibility or the position requires, and for that I need to find out, like a scientist, right? I have to know. You can hear a lot about the people, and of course, being the principal for many years and serving the community, I can hear a lot about the institution, specifically about the different schools. But being the head of, recently I was appointed as the education director, and it's a big post, great responsibility.
Yes.
So the first thing is I have to know what are the peculiarities, what are the challenges, what are the aspirations of a different school staff members, students, all the stakeholders. So that's the main purpose. So that's why I have visited. I have planned first there, since I'm staying in Himachal. So visited senior school, middle, junior, even day scholar schools. We met with the parents and listened to them, whatever they have. Okay, there's so many, say, the urges or the feelings that they think they must address, they must express it out, So I have to listen to them. So I collect. Now I've been, for the past 2 days, I was in Chontara, and now I'm here in Suja. Basically, of course, I visit around and see what are the different facilities they have, how it's been used, and mainly staff and students sit with them. And after giving brief introduction, listen to whatever they have to say. I write down without being judgmental. And once I get all these informations, then I will try to find out and connecting the dot. And let's see, and accordingly we'll plan, right? With my team up there at the head office, we'll sit together. And of course, since Department of Education, particularly there, we have to sit together, and then let's see what comes out. See, this is it. Our staff members, especially the teachers, they have a great hue and cry about some challenges that can be solved, of course, collaboratively with the Department of Education. Like that. That's a main purpose. Okay.
Thank you. And Gila, my second question is, how would you motivate children who are complacent about their education, students who think that
complacent.
Just passing the exam or getting average mark is good enough for them, and how would you motivate them to perform to their best level?
Motivating someone is not that easy.
Yes.
To motivate someone, you have to really be with that person, a student or adult, and you have to get to know about the taste, likings, innate. Every one of us have that innate intrinsic potentials, right? That I consider is very important. Whether you are parent or teachers or leaders, even friends, you should know every individual has that potential. Of course, depending on the different systems and about the education systems, sometimes under the pressure of examination and competition, so they learn by rote, right? For the sake of examination mark. But the motivation, normally we say there are two types of motivation: intrinsic motivation and extrinsic motivation. Generally, of course, extrinsic motivation for a short-term benefits, a rudimentary rewards, that is fine. But for a long time, joyful experiences, for that you need intrinsic motivation. And for that, we have to sit with the children. We have to know what are their likings, what are their interests, their hobbies. And teacher, and just now being the education director, what can I say is like whatever passion you have, follow it. And always remember, don't be a perfectionist, right? Self-esteem, of course, is great. You need to be a self-esteem, but it'll be rather what you need sometimes if you fail. It's okay. If you get a reward first, it is okay. But don't think, right, I'm the best. Don't compete with others, right? See, you have to have a self-compassion. In Tibetan, we say, Ralamibe Ninjo, Ralamibe Shaza. Say, we all, the humanity, is this normal to fail, to feel down? And it is normal sometimes, occasionally, you feel good, excited. So be that and go ahead smoothly, be happy, right? And tap the inner potential. For that, you need to read, you need to listen, you need to go out and play. Whatever the innate, you have to sprout it open. So this is it. Intrinsic motivation is more important. Other than that, I can't, because it is always student specific, right?
Yes.
And it's very good. Sometimes what happens is structural brain structure. A mother is having a baby, right? And she's having lots of stress because of the environmental, because of the political pressure, maybe in the war zone. And the baby is developing inside and she can't get the good nutritious food. And when the baby is born, mentally, structurally damaged. So how can you expect for that child to compete with someone who's from the affluent family? It doesn't make sense.
Yes.
So this is it. Competition, cutthroat competition is not good. Collaborative learning is very important. Thank you.
Thank you, Gila. And Gila, my third question is how you maintain yourself calm, stress-free, focused, even if you shoulder such a huge responsibility of thousands of children studying in TCV school.
This one, I wasn't like this and calm and everything. It's not that easy. It's like a duck. Have you seen a duck swimming from the surface? Swimming so elegantly, joyfully, but inside, in the water, if you can say, struggling a lot. But outside, so peacefully. It's like that. Inside, right? Lots of thinking, but a little bit of a stress. We have a resilient zone in C learning. It's really emphasized, resilient zone. You get bumped out of the resilient zones, maybe excited, high zone, and maybe low zone. We call it, you get depressed sometimes. It's natural. But if you are bummed out of, kicked out of that zone, either in the high or low, and for a prolonged period of time, that is dangerous. Because when you are depressed, what happens? There's a cortisol hormone is released, and it lasts long. It is very depressive. So it'll structurally, and you mentally damage you. But for me, I don't know, I take the life, as it's impermanent. That spiritual Tibetan Buddhist philosophy, that the philosophy, everything is impermanent and everything is interdependent. Everything is a cause and effect. Just for a little thing, right, it happened, you'll get it over, get a good night's sleep, get a good shower, go outside with the nature. What do you think, right? And think of a resourcing, we call it a resourcing. Think of, those moments, the beautiful moments you had with your friend, colleague, even nature, or even the food that you have had. So remember those. And then we call it a grounding in Tibetan Buddhist philosophy, Indian philosophy also. There's a grounding, we call it, meditation, being mindful. Being mindful. Mindful doesn't mean that you have to think of all this complex spiritual mantras and everything. No, just be sit. You are touching, your feet is touching on the ground, the body is leaning here. Feel it. Forget the past, forget the future, right? Past is gone, future is yet. Be in the present. Present is a gift, like that. Taking a long breath. When you breathe in, be aware you are taking in, breathing in, out. That's it. Just stay there, remain there. And then scientifically speaking, when we get excited, there's a sympathetic nervous system. This sympathetic nervous system excited and everything. There, it's either freeze, everything, like when the elements get either freeze or fight or flee. But parasympathetic nervous system, relax, growth. For that, sometimes think of someone who loved you so much, who had really unconditional love for you. Think of that. For a moment, get showered by that. I use this material, and definitely I like music, and then to read books. Sometimes best is for a short, remedy is instead of ruminating over the past and thinking on what happened, I just like go to bed, sleep, shower. So there are multiple factors depend. For me, like that. So a responsibility, I know, big responsibility. I don't have to do everything at one go. Step at a time, step at a time. Think, plan. And then there's a Tibetan saying, you know, is just you know, or some junju, no, if any problem has a remedy, why worry? If there's no remedy, why worry? So this is it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for communicating with us today. And we are so grateful that you have spent your precious time with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I'm really
you.
impressed of
Thank
the
you,
work that
Kela.
you are doing here. Thank you.